We all know One Piece. We all love One Piece. But Oda made something before One Piece. Today we're going to be talking about his manga one-shot collection, Wanted. It's 5 short stories. We got monsters already animated, adapted onto Netflix. Let's get some more, man. Let's get the rest of Wanted on Netflix. Monsters is cool because it's actually about Ryuma, a real character that became a part of One Piece. And as we saw in Romance Dawn, that's Luffy, who became Luffy of One Piece. It's crazy, I just found out about these because it doesn't actually come in physical form translated to English. You can only buy it in Japanese. The first story is Wanted. It's a cowboy anime. Not like Cowboy Bebop, it's a different kind of one. No space cowboys here. It's a cowboy movie. It's all about the shootout at the end, guns blazing. You got them back to back, walking away and then draw, boom. We got some cool characters. I really like the Wanted posters in here. You can see a lot of the character design is reminiscent of One Piece, obviously. I mean, it's the same artist, right? Oda. The same mind, it's the same person. Wanted doesn't really have a lot of these weird looking characters that we see evolve in One Piece. We see it in Romance Dawn, the goofy styles of One Piece. We don't really see that in this one. It's not really about the storyline as much either. It's really just about a cowboy movie. It's a cowboy movie manga. Then we got God's Gift for the Future. Oda himself said that this was the first manga that he drew with a story in mind. Unlike the cowboy movie one where he just wanted to make a cowboy movie one-shot manga. Same with Ikki Yako. He just wanted to draw a fighting monk. So he kind of built the storyline around having that at the end. This one has a base, a real storyline. And it's not super in-depth. I mean, how in-depth could a 30-page manga be? You have a pickpocket, wants to reform, but he doesn't. Until he does. God comes down with his death note and makes a mess of the world. But this guy, he picks up the pieces. It's fun. It's a good time. You get a lot of this comic relief with God, which is really funny contrast, right? You very seldom have God being portrayed as this goofball. And this guy, he just makes a typo and now he's sending a meteor to a mall. A lot of the faces are a little bit more outlandish, a little more cartoony, more to those One Piece style where there's like not just normal looking people. You can kind of see him getting into his groove a little bit more with this one. Also, I love the payoff, right? You got to talk about it, right? The demolition, the flashy destruction of the mall from the meteor, and it's not a shopping center, whatever. Next, we got Ikki Yako, which is the first one to really have this intense fighting scene at the end. Of course, we had the cowboy shootout, but now we actually get to see a fight. This all started from him wanting to draw a fighting monk. So he created a storyline that ends with that in mind. You get to see a lot of contrast here. You get to see some of the goofy stuff, but also some of the badass stuff, which is more of what we see in the later portions of One Piece. Not even in the later portions. I mean, some of the early stuff is really, really menacing. I mean, you have the walk from Arlong Park. I mean, how could you not look at that and be like, wow, this is serious. Story 4, we got Monsters. This is the one that has the adaptation, the animation. During the fight, it also kind of clashes into the manga and kind of shows manga panels, but stylized into this animation, this newer animation. The story is good. It's a little basic, but not in a bad way. Basic in the sense of like 30 pages. You can't really expand a lot. But he does really well with the backstories in that. Makes it very One Piece villainy where, you know, everybody sees him as a good person and he's not. You know, it starts as like this wholesome thing. You have this swordsman that saved people's lives, presumably. And then when the reveal happens, you just want to see Ryuma kick his ass. And then he kills a dragon and it's like, whoa, what? That was crazy. You made it, you built it up like there was going to be a fight and he just one-shots it. Like, how strong is this guy? Well, then you have the other reveal where he's the king. He's the guy that he thinks he wants to fight. But unbeknownst to him, people are calling him the king behind his back. He just doesn't know. He wants to fight the king. He wants to fight this strong swordsman that he's heard about, but it's him. And then last, but certainly not least, we've got Romance Dawn. And this is like looking at One Piece from an alternate reality. You have Garp, that's a pirate. You have Luffy, who wants to be kind of a marine, or not really a marine, but like a good pirate. There's bad and good pirates. Devil fruits are called dream fruits, but they're devilish. See, a lot of the pieces are there, right? If you eat a devil fruit, you can't swim. It shows rock, a rock, which is not a rock, exotic bird that's almost extinct, that has magic blood, whatever that could be. But that's a thing in One Piece, is these exceptional creatures, magical creatures in an expansive world. And that's kind of what we're seeing. Devil fruits, strange animals, magic powers, this is One Piece. But at this point, it's almost like AI generated One Piece, right? It's not actual One Piece, but it is, but it's not, but it is, but not in a bad way at all. This is what Oda made when he was just super excited to make One Piece. Before it actually got created and put into Jump, this is what he created to show how hype he was to make it. And it's great. If you haven't read this stuff, you gotta. I mean, it's crazy that I love One Piece so much, right? It's one of my favorite things. I love One Piece. And I just found out about Wanted. It's kind of crazy. So if you haven't, I really recommend reading all these stories. It's fun. It's just a good time. And one of my favorite things is his notes at the end of each story. He talks about how it was and how he came to the creation of each one of the manga one-shots, and it's really fascinating. That's really it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I just wanted to talk about Wanted because, you know, I haven't really seen anything about this. I just wanted to talk about it. Subscribe, though. Hey, look at the box, right? Subscribe.